Okay. I guess we're going live now. All right. All right, let me see if this one is also going to go live. All right, seems like we are live on this one. Okay. Gonna push this. Looks like we are live. Let me see what we have in here. Good. We're live on YouTube, we're live on TikTok. Trying to reconnect. What is the problem there? Hold on a second. All right. Position is right. Bam. All right. Make sure my position is correct. 1, 2, 3. The sound is good. I guess we're about to go live. Ready?
I'm ready as you are.
Let's go. Welcome to Modern Choice Financial Podcast, another episode. I think we're on episode number 7. Today we're going to talk about insurance and everything you need to know about insurance. As you know, we're set up as in multi-service offices, and we offer mortgage, real estate, insurance. Soon we're going to add tax and some other services that are in process. But as a broker, I've been in business for over 8 years. Started with insurance and real estate, and there are a lot of questions that we get on a daily basis, and I think I'm going to dedicate certain episodes of our podcast only to insurance matters and talk about all of that. Just to let you guys know, we're going live every Wednesday, hopefully on time at 6 o'clock. Today we had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but I guess we're good to go right now. Obviously this is a new journey and we're trying to evolve and get better and better and better. If there's anything that you guys think we should change and we should do better, please let us know. Otherwise, we're live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. It's on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. The following Friday, the actual edited version of the episode going to be in our YouTube channel on the Realtor Mehrooz. There's a playlist under Modern Choice Financial Podcast that has all our previous episodes, and it's getting updated with our edited version of new episodes every Friday. With that being said, let's move on and dive into insurance topic. And today's guest is a man that I know for almost 7 years. He joined my very first agency when I started as an insurance agent with Allstate, sold it a couple years after, and then opened a brokerage. Due to the fact that with Allstate we only had one company, one rate. Now we have unlimited companies. If we want to, we can keep adding more companies, and that's the whole purpose of being a broker. Michael De Vera, thank you for joining us today, and it's really an honor to have you here. You've been in the business a little longer than myself, and we can talk a lot about every segment of insurance. Please introduce yourself properly to our client, and we go into all this crazy topic and specific important stuff that I guess our clients are asking every day, and today we're going to talk about them.
First of all, I just want to say thank you, Mehrooz. Thanks for inviting me here today.
Of course.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael. Been in business for a little over 9 years now. About to hit my 10 years, and I didn't think I'd be here.
That's crazy, huh?
I still remember the first year. But yes, I've been serving our community with their insurance needs, from personal lines to all the way to the health lines, commercial, business, and also life insurance.
That is awesome, Michael. So we're gonna start from the basic foundation of insurance and what's the difference between the captive agencies versus broker agencies, and how they can really come in and differentiate their services and how they can really help the client. Let me give you guys the basically starter points, so we're gonna go more dive into it. So when we talk about insurance world, captive agencies is like a State Farm. I guess Michael has started with a State Farm, right?
Oh yes.
All right, red flag.
Oh yes.
So we got captive world and broker world. Captive world is very captive to one brand and one name and one set of rule. But in a broker world, the sky is the limit. You can add as many companies as you want. Nobody have conflict with the other one. They already know that you are set up as broker. You will be a broker. And they just say, as long as you're sending us enough business, we don't care how many companies you represent. The reason why we go to broker route is technically for the sake of every clientele. They have, for the lack of better word, I believe like a different demographic, and each company is geared towards a certain type of clientele. They're like that's basic in the insurance world. We call it like it's their appetite, right? And as a broker, we want to serve the client and keep them happy. Many times back in the day when I was in Allstate as a captive agent, our client had to go somewhere else, maybe due to the price, maybe due to the fact that somehow they had a claim and Allstate dropped the ball, or whatever the case was. And usually they start like that. Hey, Mehrooz, we really love you. We really love your agency. People are amazing. Your services are wow. Like, I knew already where things are going. It's like, but I found somewhere so much better, so much cheaper, and I'm tight in budget. And obviously, when the difference in pricing is so much, the value goes out the door, right? So with that being said, I want to turn this to Michael and have him basically talk about his own experience, because he's been in both ends. He was at State Farm at my old Allstate agency, and now he's here at Modern Choice Insurance. So what do you think about experiencing the different world?
Well, the captive agencies, I think you guys know who they are. I think the only thing that's missing is them knocking on your doors, personally. But as a captive agency, or whether you're owner or you're on the, on the team, they're trained a certain way. I know the conversation can be really fast. The whole objective there is really to get everything, all under one roof. I mean, it's great. It's a great discount if you qualify.
Yeah, that's the key word.
If you qualify,
yes.
It's just like purchasing a home or getting a bank loan. So everyone is entitled to submit their application to obtain insurance, whether it's personal lines or whatever it is. But for this case, it's captive. Captive, they do have their eligibility requirements. Some are stricter than others. But for the most part, they are looking for the top tier, which is, and let's face it, it's 2023. We live in Las Vegas. The craziness that we're experiencing out here.
Yeah.
Just you driving outside your house on the way to work. What's your experiences? How many times have you almost gotten to a collision?
Yep.
You don't know what the hazards are out there. There might be pails, or it might be buckets, or it might be worst case scenarios. This is true. I almost ran into a barrel of paint.
Unbelievable! Wow.
So you want to be careful out there, guys.
Yeah, definitely. So let me basically bring it to the core of the major difference, as I mentioned earlier. Being part of those companies, as an let's say business owner standpoint, or the running your agency standpoint, your hands are so tight, because technically you would have only one company, and you're technically representing that company. That's it. It's like going to Mercedes, and obviously they represent Mercedes. They're not going to say anything bad about it, right? They might sell used car in their lot. Maybe they sell Toyota as well, but you're at Mercedes dealership, but on the other hand, if you go to, let's say, what's this one that sells everything, a used car? CarMax. You go to CarMax, they don't care. Based on your budget, they're going to find your car in their lot. If not, they're going to look in their network of other CarMaxes, whether around within the same city or the 150 mile. They're going to deliver it by next day, and they give it to you. So that's taking to the broker's world. We want to find a specific policy and coverage based on each person's budget that suit them. We're not saying which one is better than the other. Just like cars, they all have four wheels. They all do the same thing, right? They all have one purpose, taking you from A to B. Obviously, there's a quality and services and all that, but usually based on the old saying, you pay for what you get. Right, Michael?
That this is true. On the broker side, ever since I stepped into the dark side, in the captive world, I am a trader, apparently. But it doesn't matter. Why? Because I'm in the best needs of my clients.
That's the key, yes.
I'm in the best needs of my clients. I'm here to serve you guys. Now, there's two things I'm looking at. If it's a price point conversation, I have the ability to do that. As long as you're able to be transparent with me and tell me exactly what it is that you're looking for, sure, I'll give you the price point. Is that necessarily the best? No. There's a price to everything.
Yes.
Okay. Now, on the broker side, I can go, we can also discuss proper coverage, adequate coverage. Last thing you want to do is be underinsured.
Oh, yeah.
We tend to not value insurance, but when the time comes, it's a piece of paper that that we have to honor. And it's my job to make sure I serve you in getting the right coverages.
Yeah, speaking of that, matter of fact, this is something that I always talk with my client when I try to advise them to do the right thing. Because at the end of the day, insurance technically has two parts. There's a piece of paper that they give you from insurance company that shows you have coverage, right? Like you go to Geico, you go to some other online-based companies, right? With that, you can actually go and register your car and get the, renew your registration or whatever, or legally be able to drive the car. That's 50% of the work. The other 50% is the real part of the insurance, the real reason why people want to have insurance, because they want to make sure at the time when they need to use that company for their claim, it really adequately covering them and how they're servicing them. Being in the broker world, obviously you work with different companies. To me, they're all good, right? You can't say Kia is bad or Tesla is bad. They're all good, right? They're all brands, they're well known. If they wouldn't be good, they wouldn't be in the business. Let's just be real about it, right? The point is, each company is tailored toward a specific type of clientele. And that's what we're trying to do, and make sure our client get the right service, right price with right coverages. Right, Michael?
That's correct. Some of these captive agencies, they're, I take nothing away from them. They are good companies, highly marketed, claim to be around for quite some time. However, on the broker side, we do have name brands as well, but we also have other carriers that really doesn't need any more marketing. Yes. Because they're well established already.
Exactly.
And if you're the right candidate for them, you will enjoy the best rates and the best coverages.
Definitely. One thing I think we can pride ourselves not to talk about our services. We try to always, from day one when we start working together, Michael, I guess we try to consistently keep our services our first priority. Like even in the, all estate days, if people would have canceled with us, it was never because, oh, your services are suck. You guys suck. I don't like to work with you. It was always about something about the actual brand, like, hey, I had a claim, I had a bad experience, or billing play hard with me, my card was declined, or whatever it was. I don't like how they're dealing with me. It was always about like, what, you guys are amazing, but I just don't like the brand that you're presenting. I want to go somewhere else. Well, right now we're at the position, thanks God, we can actually say, okay, if it's not this company, let me find you other one. We have tens of hundreds of different companies, right?
As an added service, we will on the back end, even 30 days prior to your renewal, we're already shopping for you. And if you forget, please feel free to call us.
Definitely. So mainly today, we actually want to focus on auto insurance, because when it comes to insurance, we got all kinds of different things. Matter of fact, insurance world have 4 licenses. That's it. So when you want to be an insurance agent, usually as in principle of the agency, you have to have all 4 licenses. Even though you don't use all of them, you have to have them. It's just how it is. But it goes to property, casualty, life, and health, right? So under each one of them, there's a whole different word. We want to break it to segment. Like today, we only want to talk about auto insurance because this is the hottest topic. And that's what really bulk of our daily calls and complaints are. Hey, I've been with you for all these years. Why my insurance is going up? I didn't have a claim, or I didn't, get a ticket or cause any problem. Why my insurance went up? Let's talk about that.
It's a good question.
I'm a client calling you, Michael,
Sure.
and say, "Hey, Michael, come on, what happened in here?
What's going on?
What's going on? Explain that to me."
I have no accidents, no tickets. I'm a clean driver.
Yes.
I believe you. I believe every one of you
Yes.
until I run the reports. All right. So, so when that happens, broker, I'm gonna find a more suitable company that best meets you at the moment. My overall objective, long term, is to get you in a better company.
Exactly.
Okay. So if not now, the question is when. Part of this is proper advising as well.
Exactly.
I need to gear everyone so that they can enjoy the best benefits with the best companies that we have.
Definitely.
Okay. So it goes beyond claims and accidents and tickets, so that's always the first thing that everyone mentions, whether it's in person, whether it's over the phone, whether it's virtual. I get it. Okay. But it goes beyond that. So I just want to mention, we're looking at your age, we're looking at your marital status, how old your vehicle is, your zip code, guys.
Yes. Matter of fact, let's talk about that. When we do the quote, it's not like we are looking for it. The companies, let's actually rephrase it. The companies that we go and try to get your quote, right? They all have a certain guideline that based on that, they categorize client, right? So let's say I came from other country. Just like myself, this whole country is built with all the immigrants, right? We all came from some other part of the world. Things are different in other countries, right? But in here, we're talking about United States of America, right? What insurance companies use to rate people? Let's talk about that mainly, right? So, correct me if I'm wrong. Main important thing is their age. Okay, if you're younger than 25 or older than 55, your rate is higher. Okay, that's it. This is not my rule. This is just a generic insurance rule. The zip code that you live in, right, has to do a lot with it because they run the statistic and they're like, okay, in this zip code, there's a high rate of either crime or high rate of accident. And this is a highly, volatile zip code. And based on that, we rather charge more because there's a higher chance of paying claims in this zip code. Next thing is obviously your driving record and your insurance record. Driving record meaning did you have an accident? Did you have a ticket, right? And then when it comes to insurance record, what's the difference between the two is insurance record is how responsible you are on your insurance. Have you had a lapse between your prior insurance and this year insurance? Or mainly it goes all the way to, in some cases, up to 5 years. That's what they look, right, Michael?
They do. Now, I know you asked something about captive. Okay.
Yes.
So to be eligible with them, they want 6 months of insurance history.
Yes.
But if you have any claims,
good luck.
You're gonna premium wise, you are gonna feel it. Okay.
Yes.
So this is another question I get. I filed comprehensive claims. It's not at fault. Unfortunately, if you sustain a lot of comprehensive claims, it goes beyond just glass breakage, vandalism.
Yes.
It goes more than that. If you overutilize your roadside service, guys, if I see 5 or 6 or 7 of them,
yeah,
it's going to be difficult for me to place a company for you.
That's why, matter of fact, we're suggesting people to get, let's say, AAA card or whatever.
An outside roadside plan.
So they don't file a claim on their insurance, auto insurance.
Now, this might be a question that one might raise pretty much every day. That's the whole point of me having insurance.
Yes. But I think some people got it a little bit twisted.
And guys, I don't agree with everything in insurance now, but my job is to guide you and advise you so that you don't have. You're not in a situation where I used to pay $120. Now
Yes.
I'm at $250.
Exactly. So here's the thing. Let's talk about that before we forget. So insurance, generally speaking, is not there. I mean, it is there to pay your claim, yes, but logically, you won't want to file a claim for, let's say, $1,000 loss, because most insurances, they do have a deductible, which is your part of that. Let's say the claim came to $5,000. If your deductible is $1,000, that means you're paying $1,000, we pay the other on top of whatever is your deductible, right? So $4,000 is payout from insurance, you pay that $1,000. So now, is it worth it to file a claim for something that is $1,500 when your deductible is $1,000 or even $500? I don't think so, because in the next 3 to 5 years, you end up paying more to your insurance because technically your rate goes up, as in, oh, the person that had a claim, I don't know if I want to even give you insurance. After 2-3 claim, you're not even insurable. You got to go to high risk insurance. We can still get you insurance, but not with the typical companies with the typical rate. You're going to say, because a lot of people, they say, back home, I love that topic. Back home, let's say I had a BMW 3 Series and this is how much I paid. I never had to think about like next year it goes up. Well, guess what? You're not back home anymore. You're here. And here, it's not about the car as much. Car is only probably, let's say 10-15% of your rate. The most important thing is how's your driving record, how's your insurance record. If you're new into the country, which we get a lot of people that they just moved in or whatever, and the first year to even the first 6 months to a year, they're going to end up paying higher insurance because there is no record of them. How do they drive? They might say, I've been driving for 20 years. Well, we don't have a record of it. It's in a whole other country, right? So insurance companies gauging your driving record within the first 6 months to a year, and then if you've been a good person, didn't cause any drama, no ticket, no accident, especially at fault, then next year you're gonna have a way better rate.
And be insured, guys, for at least minimum. Here, this is real talk now.
Yes, let's go, Michael.
No, it's not your 6 months captive.
Mm-hmm.
What we're looking at is really 13 to 18 months of insurance history.
Yes.
You need to have that before you start shopping around. Or you could start off at 6 months. There are some cases where I am successful at this, where I'm able to help.
Yes.
But I do have the higher probability of helping you in the broker platform.
Definitely.
I have several different companies to deal with.
Yes.
So insurance history, and for your youthful drivers out there, I turned 25. What if I told you guys I've insured somebody that's been insured for 2 years? And that's a requirement, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
If you're new to driving, you have a youthful driver, they need to have 2 years of insurance history, and their driver's license has to have been active for 2 years with no claims or accidents. And I tell you what, those guys will enjoy the best rates.
All right. Yes, for sure.
Guys and gals.
All right, so here's another thing. Let's break down, since the topic mainly is around auto insurance, let's break down the coverages. And there's a misconception of couple of coverages that people, matter of fact, earlier today I had a conversation with one of our clients. I don't know if you heard it or not, regarding uninsured and underinsured motorists. A lot of people think it's covering their car or it's always covering them and all that. We want to break down every section of coverages, and hopefully this will be a section that you guys replay and basically come back, and a lot of people don't have a clear understanding of each one of those coverages and what they are, because sometimes they come across as a big word and what they cover. So let's go, Michael. Let's just start with bodily injury.
Bodily injury, guys. So first and foremost, that's required. the DMV requires that here.
Yes.
I think any state you go to, Arizona, it doesn't matter. That bodily injury.
Yes.
Bodily injury, that's a coverage that you must have. So if you hurt somebody and they're hurt, depending on your coverages. So out here, okay, maybe your agents didn't talk about proper coverage and you just went with what's affordable. I understand that. But what if you hit somebody more than 25,000? But an example, let's say you had 25,000 in bodily injury. That's what's going to pay the other person.
Yes.
And let's pray that you didn't hurt them badly enough. Because that, my friends, it's going to come out of your pockets, guys. So don't hurt. So if you have the minimum coverage, try not to hurt.
Yeah, be very careful. Yes.
Because that's just one driver.
Yeah, if they got a crazy lawyer that is very strong and they already mastered their craft, they can even, if you're at fault, you cost this guy arm or leg or something. You basically disable the guy or somehow really hurt them with their bodily injuries. You better be ready. They might even go as far as wage garnish you, because technically it was because of your fault that this person is suffering right now, right? You hurt him in an accident. It was your fault. Your insurance fulfilled their obligation. And let's say we have the state minimum of $25.50 currently in the state of Nevada. And that means for each accident that you cause, it's your fault basically. That's partial of your liability coverage. We're still covering the liability section of the coverage, right? So your insurance would pay maximum $25,000 to each person that you hurt. Up to 2 people, each get $25,000 equal to $50,000 total. By then, legally, insurance companies are done. Unless you choose from the beginning to have a higher coverage, obviously comes with higher price, right? And based on whatever you choose, we have 50,000, 100,000, we have 100, 300, we have 250, 50,000, which technically, if you want to get the umbrella policy, if you're a business owner and you make a lot of money and people know you got a lot of asset, you want to cover that, you will need at one point to get umbrella policy, which umbrella policy usually requires your auto policy to have minimum $250,000 per person on bodily injury, and up to technically each person $250,000 equal $500,000. Then you can go and get the umbrella policy. So next section is property damage. Let's go.
Property damage, guys. The cost of cars today are rising. I can't count how many Teslas I've seen out there.
Yes.
If it's a Model Y, it might be on the lower end, but, the average car today is about, I want to say 45 to 50,000, 55,000 is the
That's
average
about fair,
vehicle.
yes.
There's a lot of SUVs out there. How much is that?
Yeah.
So the property damage is what's going to cover when you damage the other person's car.
Or let's say they're anything property. Like let's say you got off the road and hit someone's home. Their wall or whatever, in my way home, there's 2 areas where somebody either tried to avoid hitting other person or maybe just got off road and went into people's wall and went to their yard. That you can see the entire wall is down and is under construction right now.
They avoided it. Well, on my way to the gym, I did see a vehicle. I didn't know what it was until I got closer. It was a vehicle that plowed through their wall.
Yep.
So, or maybe a post. So don't drink and drive, guys.
Oh yeah. So next section is these 2 combination of bodily injury and property damage is your liability coverage, right?
That's the first thing that you're going to see on your declarations page. Everyone has one. If your agent didn't provide you with one, please request.
This is basically a mandatory coverage for anyone to be able to even get the registration and plate, be able to drive in the state of Nevada, right?
Yes.
Or I guess any state. So now, next part is optional, medical coverage, right?
Med coverage.
Let's talk about that.
Medical coverage, med pay. Okay, that's the first thing that pays out. It's a very powerful policy, don't get me wrong. Anyone that's sustained an injury will ask for not ask for anything less than $10,000. It costs a lot of money to even be admitted. The ER ride alone is already what? 2,500,
You
3,000?
in and out of ER costs you probably $6,000, $7,000, depends.
So it's amazing, when I review all these insurance declarations pages, when I see 1,000, 2,000, it's not enough at all. If you're going to have that, it looks good on paper, but is it going to pay for anything? It's really not. 1,000, 2,000, good luck on your ambulance ride. That's already 2,500. So if you're going to have that, please make sure that's part of having proper coverage, adequate coverage.
Yes.
Nothing less than 10,000, guys.
Definitely. Let's go to the part where now we're going to full coverage, which is, usually when people purchase a car with loan, it's mandatory to carry full coverage. Some people, they try to get funny with that. Eventually, the finance company, every year, they want us to basically, supply the insurance coverage for them to make sure this auto is properly insured. Due to the fact that you still don't own the property, the auto, and if anything happened, the financing company need to get paid for the price of the vehicle. So now we're going to full coverage. Obviously, there is comprehensive and collision. Let's talk about the difference between the two and what they cover.
Okay, let's start with the easiest one, comprehensive. If your vehicle's lost or stolen, catches on fire, you hit a deer, coyote, catches on, maybe lightning strikes, glass breakage, that is the deductible that you would pay upfront, and then the rest the insurance company absorbs. That's called transferring the risk.
Yep.
Okay. Now for glass coverage, we might want to calm down a little bit on that one. You file too many comprehensive claims for glass, it's going to count against you guys. So it's good to have it there. But there are also glass companies out there that will allow you to replace your windshield for less than your deductible, and it doesn't count against you.
Exactly.
Okay? If you're able to establish a relationship with a good company, a glass company, or feel free to call me.
Exactly. We have all these connections. Matter of fact, my own father's car about 4 months ago, all of a sudden one day had a crack windshield. And I looked up his coverage, his deductible was $500. The glass was costing him, if it was the actual manufactured glass, was like $580, right? And if you do aftermarket type of material, it was just around $420, right? So it's not even it's not even basically makes sense to file a claim, because if you want to go with the original, the company glass, it would be only $80 coming out of the insurance company, and you pay the first $500 anyway. But here's where it gets a little bit, important to know. There are companies that we do offer in brokerage world that with only $50 deductible, you can have your insurance, you can have your glass replaced. Basically, it counts as a whole separate coverage with a very minimum deductible of $50. So it's not against your comprehensive claim. It's just basically categorized as glass claim. It's a different method.
So an example, if your deductible for comprehensive is $1,000, you file a glass claim, it would be $50 for any glass claims.
That's it. So let's go to
collision. Okay, collision. Very simple. Imagine two cars colliding with each other. If you are involved in that incident, in that situation right there, that's the deductible that you would pay. Very important, guys. Very critical. Okay. You might want to have that reasonable deductible, but I understand that it's a tough market right now. If you got to raise your deductibles a little bit, just keep in mind that's what it's there for.
For sure. I think the best way to remember that anything that is not collision is going to fall under comprehensive, and collision is technically when two cars have accident. That's collision. Anything that is not collision is comprehensive. They steal your car, comprehensive. Your car caught on fire, comprehensive. A tree fall on your car, comprehensive. Hit and run, comprehensive. As long as it's not collision, which is only one thing, two cars hit each other, it's going to be comprehensive. So it's a very important part of your full coverage on your auto insurance. All right, I think this is a time to break into the hottest topic. This is the topic that I really want everybody to understand super crisp. I think it's our duty, our job to make sure you guys understand it so good that hopefully we get a little prayer behind it. Let's talk about uninsured motorists. What is the foundation of it and what is this for? Let's go, Michael.
By definition, it's to cover for your pain and suffering and lost wages. So let me just paint a picture, make it more simple.
Yes.
All right. You are driving to work. Somebody T-bones you. You're badly hurt. Suddenly, you're no longer able to work. You need time to heal. That's where uninsured, and the other person is uninsured or underinsured.
Let's explain underinsured. Uninsured is very clear. The guy just doesn't have insurance. Somehow insurance got canceled, right? And I don't know in any other states, okay? I really want to touch, don't forget what you were saying because this is important. Back in the day, if you guys, let's say some people try to be funny or they think they're smart, and they get the insurance, right? Or let's say, for the lack of better word, they used to, because they eliminate all of that. I'm going to explain how. They used to get the insurance, go and register their car, get the plate, put it on their car, and then next month they cancel the insurance, right? They're like, I'm never going to have a claim, so why would I pay insurance? It's just for me to be able to drive. Back in the day, like 20 years ago, this would fly. But nowadays, these three companies or entities per se, they're connected to each other. DMV, insurance companies, and police department. So every single day, with the help of technology, all insurance companies, they're running an auto audit in their system. If anyone's insurance is canceled, they send a report to DMV. This person with this car that has this VIN number, as of today, 1201, has no insurance. And guess where else did this report get sent? From DMV, it gets sent to police, right? Now, you probably seen a lot of time you're behind the light and police is right next to you and they're checking the car in front of you or the other car in the road or whatever. They're running that scenario. They're literally having an active list of canceled insurance. They're in the road looking for those cars and those drivers because that's illegal. Let's just set the tone. Driving without insurance is illegal because you can hurt somebody and don't have proper coverage or have even any coverage to pay for that damage. And here we go, that person is going to suffer a big loss because of you trying to be in a smart ass, basically, which won't fly.
Let's not cheat the system, guys.
Exactly. So that being said, let's bring this uninsured motorist coverages fully explained. I just want to be very clear. This has nothing to do with your car. It's only about your bodily injury. All right? Let's just be on the same page. Let's go, Michael.
So this is a very important coverage to have. Yeah, it's just, I guess some others are just not comfortable explaining it. They just do it really fast. Oh, it covers your vehicle. It does not.
Yes.
It does not. It's for your pain and suffering, your lost wages. So
exactly.
Again, if you're T-boned today, you're going to work. You're not able to work. Again, I know we mentioned proper coverage earlier, but if you went with the minimum, which is $25,000, $50,000, you're hurt, you're going to get paid up to $25,000. That's a cap.
Exactly.
Is that enough to pay your bills if you're not healed within a year.
Exactly. Let me clear this part. Let's just start with that. Uninsured motorist only applies when you're not at fault. You need to remember that. So it starts covering you if the other person is at fault and they either don't have insurance or they don't have adequate insurance coverages. Just like how Michael explained, if you end up in hospital, your hospital bill is, let's say, $70,000 in total, and the person has only $25,000 per person. We talked about it earlier, right? So insurance companies or insurance company for that person that hit you and is at fault going to fulfill their obligation, $25,000 for your bodily injury, let's say in this case. After that, if you're getting a lawyer or whatever, going after that person that is at fault, right? If that person has no money, is just broke, has nothing else to go after, then if you have your uninsured motorist coverage or underinsured motorist coverage, you can actually tap into that and your insurance comes in and save the situation. Otherwise, at the end of the day, hospital wants to get paid. They don't care, right? That's pretty much what it is.
So guys, proper coverage, but I'll just put it to you guys this way. If you're able to save $35 to $50 a month, kudos. Do you want to save money now and pay out later? I've seen several drivers out here who've been driving for over 25 years. Then suddenly,
boom,
just one little mistake out of nowhere.
I'm gonna have both me and Michael explain all kinds of different experiences with clients. Some of them are heartbreaking experiences in the future episodes. But there are some really, really crazy things that I wish it never happened to anyone, right? So let's get that straight. Uninsured motorist. Uninsured motorist. It's important, but here's the kick here I want to give you guys, and then you can fact check that. You can talk to a lawyer. Here's where the core of the problem starts today as we talk in Las Vegas and greater Las Vegas area. I don't care about Oregon. I don't care about Texas. We're talking about Las Vegas and this part of the state of Nevada. If you go outside of Las Vegas to Prom, neighboring city, until it get this sort of traffic and this sort of volume of claim, their rates is like probably 1/3 of our rate. Why? Because there's not that many people in the road, and obviously there's not that many accidents. Therefore, they have a very lower risk, right? But in Las Vegas, since we're a touristic city and we have a lot of tourists coming from all over the world, some of them from England, from India, from Australia, the countries that they drive on the other side of the road, it's even more dangerous for them. It's confusing for them. Let's be real. Heck, we get all these friends from California here on the weekend. Let's talk about them.
What part of California?
Yeah, right.
Which one?
Yeah, right. They signal right and they turn left, or all kinds of funny stuff. Or they see something in the middle of Las Vegas Boulevard, they just hit the brake, they go out, they try to take a photo of it. I mean, we get all kinds of craziness. And let's don't forget about a 24-hour drinking town, right? People get out of the casino, they're half drunk, or in some cases, some irresponsible people are fully drunk and they can't even, see properly, and they're unfortunately get in a car and they cause some horrible accidents. On top of that, we have the raise of prices, we have inflation. Any part of the cars that used to, let's say a bumper, used to cost $300. Nowadays, same thing that cost 2 years ago $300 might cost double, if not at least time half. Let's say $300 cost 2 years ago is going to be about $450 today. Obviously, insurance companies are not going to take the same money but they spend more. They're not charities, right? They're in business. They want to stay in business. And we're going to talk about this whole foundation of why all of this happening and how it's happening in the next episode, because I'm going to explain with the help of Michael the root of why these companies raise their rate and how it happened. And because there's obviously a Department of Insurance checking all of that. They can't just do whatever they want because they're under supervision of the Department of Insurance. This topic is a huge topic, right? We don't want to take this to 2 hours of conversation, but if you do follow our podcast in all the choice of different platforms, we're in iTunes, we're in Spotify, we're in Castbox, in most important podcast platform, we're there. Obviously, we're going live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. and the record of that gets edited and being posted in our YouTube channel on the Modern Choice Financial Podcast every Friday, the episode from the previous week, right? We're going to continue this. We're going to have an entire segment about insurance because there's a lot of things that we want to cover, and this is pretty much almost like a daily conversation of us in our agency, and I think it's best to break it down. Matter of fact, down the road, I can probably just send you guys a video. Watch this video, you get all your answers. If not, then call us, because we're getting repeated question every day, and it's all about why this, why that, right, Michael?
That's correct. And if you guys have any areas of insurance, whatever it is, feel free to comment, and then maybe we can
exactly
have another podcast in depth of what concerns you guys may have.
Definitely. That's actually the point. Matter of fact, this episode was sponsored by Modern Choice Insurance. Modern Choice Insurance is a broker here in Las Vegas with all kinds of different companies representing different segments of insurance, whether for your business, for your personal, home, auto, boat, motorcycle, business, commercial auto, heck, if it's a hotel, casino, I don't know, whatever it is, restaurant, bar, we insure it all, right?
Sure.
Let's go.
On our side, it's called personal lines, okay? For future, you got your life and anything health related, shoot your comments.
Definitely. Michael, I want to thank you for being our guest. You being in the industry for a long time and basically having all those experiences, it's going to be a valuable content for future. We're definitely going to have you probably on a regular basis, maybe like every once a month. Let's say every 3 episodes we talk about some other topic. One of the episodes going to be about insurance. Obviously, if you guys following our social medias, we're going to post the topic for the upcoming week. Next week, we're going to talk about mortgages and all the changes that is happening and about to come, because as a mortgage broker, we get all the insider news, and I think it would be good towards the end of the year. We're going to talk about all of that, and almost every year around this time, mortgage companies, they come together and they come up with a new rate and also new limit, like let's say conventional loan limit, FHA loan limit. They just raised the VA, almost no limit. Okay, but the thing is, some companies, they say, okay, we can only loan up to, let's say, $2 million, even though there is no limit on VA. Right? VA is ready to actually take $5 million loan, no problem. The companies might have limit on that. So we want to discuss all of that, obviously, in our next episode. But please follow our social medias. They're all under Realtor Mehrooz. And comment about the question that you might have. And we definitely answer them in all our future episodes. Other than that, we want to conclude today. Michael, if there's a last word, please. Floor is yours for our audience.
Always remember, everyone, that's listening and chimed in, tuned in, I'm here, we're here. We're here, we're always going to be on your side. Okay?
Definitely.
And if there's a way for us to fight for you, we're going to fight for you so you get what you want. At the end of this, this is not just a transaction for me or for anyone with Modern Choice. We're always here to serve you. That's our sole purpose.
Exactly.
And we take great pleasure in that. And that's our commitment.
Definitely. So technically, to conclude the beginning phase of our podcast, because we have no script for it. This is just on the go, right? We're just talking, like having a conversation. And as we go to whole different areas. I just want to conclude one section. The best way to differentiate captive agencies or like a brand, one company based agencies versus the broker agencies is agent at captive agencies, they're representing the brand. Let's say if it's Allstate, State Farm, American Family, whatever it is, captives.
Just one company.
One
product.
On the other side, brokers representing their client, because we want to make sure our client always have the best coverage, best company at the best price. With that, let's conclude this episode. And please follow, share, and if you think our contents are helpful, share it with your friends and family. Michael, let's conclude this.
All right, and if my name sounds familiar, my voice sounds familiar, and you lost contact with me over the years, you know where I'm at now. Okay.
Yes, you know where he's at.
I've been for quite some time now, so.
Oh man, thank you very, very much for your services.
You guys have a great evening.
You're a very honorable man. By the way, this is totally off topic, but Michael served our country for 10 years as a Marine. I want to thank you. This is a Thanksgiving season. I want to thank you for that, saving this wonderful country. And that's about it, I gotta say. Thank you for your service, man. Seriously.
Thanks for having me here.
One of the reasons why we have you here is because of your work ethic. And I think it came from those military days, right? You just train differently, your mindset is differently, you show up on time, you do what it takes, and you're always ready to go extra mile to give the best service because you learn how to serve. 10 years under this government.
10 years serving, and I'm still continuing to serve others.
My man.
Always remember that, guys.
Thank you very much. You guys, please follow, share, and we'll see you in the next episode. Ciao. All right.